Mad Max coming to you live from Closeout Bats, and today we are on episode 4 of the roundtable discussion, and I'm back with Roy. We canned that other guy, that Eastbound and Down lookalike, the poor man's Kenny Powers. People were not in love with his appearance, and his dialogue was not really good.
No, he's back to the Z Morning Zoo.
Yeah, what did you think of him?
Tool bag.
Okay, you happy to be back?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're happy to have you back. And today we're talking about DeMarini Fast Pitch. It's our first Fast Pitch Friday doing the show so far. So Fast Pitch Friday, every Friday we're going to come out with some good deals. And today we have some DeMarini deals going. We're going to have the CFX minus 10, and we're going to have the CFX minus 11, which looks like the Miami Dolphins colors right there. But these bats are two of the best bats out, I would say, right now as far as Fast Pitch softball.
No doubt.
Now, people might say, question might come about like, hey, what's up with these bats? That's no deal. They're 350 everywhere, and the truth is they're 350 here too. That's no difference, you know. But the difference between these bats that we're selling and say another one that's 350 is that these are blemished. And you talked about a blem a couple days ago. Do you want to revisit that and tell the viewers there what a blem is?
So a cosmetically blemished bat is when the structural integrity of the bat's not compromised. It's strictly a paint issue. So the paint job's just not a perfect paint job. So there's no dents or cracks or anything that's going to not make the bat perform. It's going to perform like any other regular bat. It's just going to have some paint imperfection. And the graphics are pretty busy, so they kind of tend to, quite honestly, blend right in. And I think that they're barely recognizable, but at the end of the day, I think that you pulled one, and we can kind of get a little bit of a close-up of what exactly a blend might look at. And this, we had to search through a bunch to even find one that we could actually even put on.
So there'll be that little mark right there, you'll see. And because of that, the bat is going to be less money. So instead of being $350, it will be $280, which is a decent enough price. And sometimes there's really not even a last year's model in something like this. But this bat being $280 instead of $350, you're really saving some money. The thing with the blend bats are, because they are being sold less than what the manufacturer is putting it out at $350, is they will not be warranted by the manufacturer. So that's kind of the one thing that if you said, why wouldn't I do the blemished bat? It is that it does not come with a warranty. All right, so that's the deal of the day. We also have the giveaway going on still with Rawlings. So we're going to have a Rawlings giveaway where it's going to be through Rawlings, where you're going to go to our website, you're going to click a link to the Rawlings sign-up sheet, and you're going to sign up, and you can win up to $500 in Rawlings apparel. Whether you even play baseball or softball, you get,
Not just apparel.
Well, yeah, bats and gloves. I'm saying you could get anything Rawlings, basically. You could get that glove chair if you wanted to. It's a little bit more than $500, though. And if we have any questions coming in, we will be more than happy to take them. Or give us a phone call. We haven't had a phone call yet being live on here. I know yesterday we went real long. Today we'll try to maybe keep it to 40, 45 minutes. We'll see. What's up?
Alrighty.
No World Series last night.
New.
Let's see. I don't see any questions here.
Poor man Kenny Powers isn't on?
Oh, I don't know. Look at that one.
Your fingers.
All right.
Your fingers in the way.
All right.
I can't tell you what one word is that they wrote.
25 viewers now. 26 viewers. Let's get some questions. 30 viewers. I need questions ultimately. Is Roy pleasant to work with? Somebody asked. Roy is not pleasant to work with. Roy's a real pain. Is Max pleasant to work with? Roy, do you want to answer that question?
You have to have patience.
Ha ha.
And earplugs.
And
You just gotta
earplugs.
bring it down a little bit.
How much?
Raising Max was a task.
What are you doing? What's that? So anyone tuning in right now, I want to go over the deal of the day again. So we're going to have the CFX minus 10. So this is the brand new DeMarini bat right here. And then we're going to also have the CFX -11 bat. So these two bats are bats that are 350. They're now going to be on sale for 280 today. And that's because they are cosmetically blend. And if you go to the beginning of this video, you'll be able to see what we described as a blend. It's just a minor paint smudge to the bat. Doesn't affect, obviously, the performance of it. And the price, obviously, is going to be less, where you'll see that these bats normally go for 350. They're going to be 280 with the blemish one. So that's going to be some major savings, too. And then we also still have the Rollins giveaway going on as well. If you have any questions about any other bats, USA bats, fast pitch bats, we'll be more than happy to answer them, obviously, this morning and see if you got any questions regarding that. Any questions?
Mark wants to know, drop 3 BB core. What's the best bat, hottest for 2018?
Well, I would say 2018. We talked about it yesterday, and we've talked about it every day. 918, I would say, is probably the best performing 2018 bat. You know, I like keeping it in the 2018 version, because then when we start talking about what's the best BB core baseball bat out there on the market, you know, you got 2017, you got 2016, but if we're real specific and say 2018 only, it makes things easier. And I say best composite 918 and best aluminum Cat 7.
Yeah, but I think also with the composite, I think the Ghost is great, and I think the Quattro is right up there.
The Quattro is good too. I
think
agree.
Those three are probably the powerhouses.
All right. Victor Franco Jr., good morning, y'all. Good morning to you too. All right, Michael M. DeMarini drop 11 or drop 10, 2 3/4 preference. What do you think? Well, DeMarini drop 10 or drop 11, 2 3/4. To be honest with you, they don't even make it 2 3/4 -11. They only make the 2 3/4 -10. So we actually have some of those. We actually have the -10 this year's model, the CF Zen, or we have the retooled actually coming in today. That's also another thing to talk about. You guys got to stay tuned, because we're going to have a bunch of some DeMarini deals coming in the next couple of days. If you're tuning in right now, I can tell you that we have a Monday Madness email. We haven't even touched upon that. We send out a Monday email every Monday, and on there's going to be daily specials and all that stuff. And this Monday we're doing a DeMarini, let's say, blowout sale. So tune in for that. Sign up to the email list, and you can see all the different
all categories.
deals. All categories this week. So these blends are kind of a little, let's say, appetizer for what's to come. We're gonna have a whole bunch of other ones. We're gonna have some blend in BB core. We have some blend. They're right now on the website live. So we have blends in every category.
Keep in mind the blends are very limited.
Yeah, very limited. So if you see it today and you go, oh, I'm gonna buy that, right before the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, chances are it won't be there. So if it is there, then maybe we were deep in it.
Andrew wants to know what your thoughts on shaving USA bats is.
Well, first off, I probably wouldn't shave any bat, to be honest with you, because it voids the manufacturer's warranty. They are able to tell, and what you're doing is you're just thinning those walls, and you're really kind of you're taking a bat that you want to break in, and you want to get the most out of the bat like that. You don't want to just get a bat and shave it, and all of a sudden, a month down the road, it breaks, and then the manufacturer won't warranty it. So I wouldn't shave any bat. And also the USA bats, I definitely wouldn't shave. Performance, you're not going to see an upgrade by shaving a USA bat. They've made it, in mind with that shaving. And also, I'll show you a USA bat real quick. It actually even has this message on it. I think on one of these do. Which one has the ghost? I think the composites. Yeah, right here. Yeah, so on all these Easton ones right here, and everybody, they have this where it says tampering with this bat, so you wouldn't want to even do it. Serious stuff. What do you think? You wouldn't shave a bat, right?
No, I think number one, it's illegal. It's cheating. It's voiding the warranty, and I think that you're going to see that the bat is going to crap out very quickly, and they're not going to replace it. And at the end of the day, they'll probably, if you tried to send it back and they notice that it was shaved, which they will, I think you'll be flagged as somebody who is doing this and probably never be able to warranty a bat ever again, because they're going to flag your name. So definitely don't advise doing it.
Yep. I have a question here. If it was for your 13-year-old son, give me top 3 names you would give him for game time. Is there any more to that question? Is he maybe talking BB core?
13 years old is a tough category. He could be
Yeah.
Little League or he could be BB
Mark,
Core.
if you're out there, I need to know a little bit more on that question right there. Sell me on a legit bat for my 9-year-old. So Ryan, I'm assuming it's USA Baseball, and 9 years old. You know, you probably want something lightweight. I think that Solo has really been kind of the key bat for any 8, 9-year-old kid. Once we start talking 10, 11 years old, then we probably talk more Ghost X. But I would look probably Solo or Ghost X minus 11. Those two seem to be the go-to bats for 8, 9 years old, and then it just comes down to how much you want to obviously spend on that bat. If you said, hey, we want to stick with the composite, then you're in that Ghost. If you want to stick with aluminum, then yeah, you want to be Solo. And then I have Fernando saying, good morning, Max and Roy. Our buddy Fernando. Fernando, what's up, bro?
You got a question from Michael. He wants to know what's the best way to help his 10U swing a heavier bat. Maybe hit jack?
Yeah, what would you do?
Yeah, I push-ups.
Push-ups, milk, spinach, you know. Let's get one of those hit jacks out here and see. So basically, the hit jack is going to be like these. What's up? It's going to be an open donut, and it just goes on the handle of the bat, like such, like that. And then what you're going to see is they could swing with it, they could hit with it on, and it's just going to add a lot of weight there. Where the donut, you're very limited. You're just getting swings in the on deck, you know, circle.
Yeah, donut, you're doing more limbering up and loosening up. With the hit jack, you can actually do some drills with it to get strength. So soft toss, hitting off of a tee, even taking live BP, but probably that would be my last choice. I think more soft toss than hitting off of a tee. And doesn't have to be that heavy. I mean, that yellow weight is, I think, what, 5 ounces?
Yeah.
So,
well, that's why I said, you know, I think he said 9 years old. Or so 9 years old, I'd be looking at the 5.
More than
12
enough.
probably for that older, you know, high school kid or, you know, 7th and 8th grader. That's who I would probably look for.
Keep in mind, if you're swinging a -3, 33-30, and you throw a 12-ounce hit jack on there, you're swinging a bat that's 42 ounces.
Yeah.
And it's 33 inches. I mean, nobody swings a bat that heavy. So, you know, is the 12 ounces too heavy to take live PP with? Probably, but maybe some soft toss drills, as long as you're not compensating and creating bad mechanics and bad habits. You know, I think it's great for getting stronger. So,
Bob wants to know what's the best ASA bat that you would recommend. I mean, you maybe need a little more information. Maybe is that fast pitch or slow pitch? I mean,
well, we could probably say if it's slow pitch. I mean, I think well, I'll ask the question. I'll throw it back. What type of ball are you using? If you say 52-300, we had Bill here yesterday and all his wisdom telling us about the flipper, and I would agree. The flipper has been the hot bat with 52-300, or maybe you want to go Super Z, one of those bats. If you're using obviously the 44-375, then you're probably looking more at that maybe Z4 or maybe the Mercy or Juggernaut, something that has a little bit more flex to it. I think is what you would see.
you know, if you like that lighter swinging bat, like a 26 ounce, the Mercy is just a great bat.
Yeah, Mercy's good stuff.
But it only comes 26 ounce,
And for 25.
nothing heavier.
Let's see. Do we got any more questions? I think we got a bunch of questions here. Ty says, good morning, Big Roy and Max. Good morning, Ty. How's it going?
T Boogie.
Yep. Steven, best fast pitch softball bat out right now. Well, best fast pitch softball bat. I'll go with mine, and then you can go with yours.
I'm gonna go
Oh,
3 bats.
You're gonna go 3. All right. I'm
no,
just
no,
gonna.
no, no, no.
Roy tries to make everyone happy. I'm just gonna make one person happy.
No.
Yeah.
The new kid on the block, the Ghost. The Ghost is crushing it. Great bat. Easton's been nowhere in the fast pitch softball market. They are now on the map, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now LXT, Xeno, and CF series, they've done great every year. So I don't know that I can pinpoint and say, oh, this is the best one. I mean,
Well, newer doesn't always mean best. I'm gonna go Xeno. I'm gonna go straight Xeno. And also, guys, I'm gonna break something right now. Some news out right now about Xeno that is potentially coming out. There's gonna be tune in to the show every day, and you're gonna see some cool stuff as far as colorways and different stuff on the Xeno. You know, so good stuff on that Xeno bat. I think the Xeno people might be sick of the color that it's white and purple, and you know it's the same color every year. Well, tune in and you might see something cool on that Xeno bat.
I'm going Ghost.
I go Zeno.
You heard it here
It's
first.
the bat. Zeno. How can you go against the bat that's been the best bat for the last like 6-7 years? It's been the industry. It's the Ghost is kind of a direct thing is what the Zeno is. They're very similar bats. All right, let's see. But Ghost is not U-Trip. I'll say fast pitch. Totally true. That's why I don't go Ghost because you can't use it in U-Trip. All right. Questions are coming in right here. A lot of questions here. People are tuned in this morning. I'm glad to see people on their Friday commute. Fernando says, "What is a good bat for a 16-year-old high school? Money is no object." Well, I know that, Fernando.
For you, Fernando.
Yeah, Fernando. I know that you're money bag. So I'd say you got the Mako last year from if my memory is correct. I'd probably say look at the Quattro or look at the 918. You agree, Roy? Quattro. Fernando, why don't you sign up for that Rawlings contest? Right? Or the 918. What do you think? What would you go with?
They're both great.
Or the Zen, maybe. Look at it all. Come in and hit everything. Oh, Zen. Boom. Right there. I like the Zen. It's kind of growing on me. I wasn't a big fan of it, but now I'm starting to be a believer on that. I have a question here. Is that a Mad Max coffee mug? Yes, it is. Mad Max. Shop smart and save big bucks. All right. What's better bat for a 9-year-old kid? Composite or alloy? And what brand do you suggest? Thank you. Well, what's a better bat for a 9-year-old kid? Composite or aluminum? I'd say what has he used in the past? And if you go to his history and he's only swung let's say the Mako, which so many 8-9-year-old kids are coming from, then yeah, you would want to stick with another composite like that Ghost X -11. If he's kind of newer to this and he's really coming from like that aluminum bat, that S500 or S2 or S3, then stick with the aluminum because I think this new standard, obviously those bats are lighter and you want to keep it that lightweight feel, so solo might make sense. So I would say the question, your answer lies in what he's used before. Has he used an aluminum bat? Then stick with the aluminum. If he used the composite, go with the composite as well. Stick with what he knows and has success with. My daughter loves her FS2. Tammy Thompson has wrote. I would love to find her another one of the Easton FS2. Well, that's unfortunate. I was going to say it might be time for an upgrade because the FS2 is an older bat. Most similar bat to that FS2, probably Zeno, because FS2 is that stiff feeling bat. You want something more that one-piece design. They don't really make a good composite one-piece unless you wanted to look at the Combat that we have on a deal right now. We have a Combat Maxim for like $100. Let's see what size she's swinging. I think we have 30 and 32 in that one-piece one. Fernando said, "Love you guys. You're great. He'll be up soon to show Junior the Zen bat." All right, sounds good, Fernando. Sauce will be here, so I don't know if you're gonna be liking that too much. It's a little 55 viewers, right? That's pretty good. We're keeping it going. This is better than 57. It might be climbing. This is better. 33.23, 11-ounce drop. Or no, 32.20. What happened to the Combat Maxim? Well, Combat Maxim is still there. I mean, it's
in what, fast pitch?
Well, no, I just think ultimately that's
I guess the question is, will Combat exist going forward?
Probably not. Probably
summer of 2018.
Yeah, probably not. I think we'll probably the Combat bats. We probably won't see them.
Tim wants to know if the CFX is as hot as the CF6 -11.
Yeah, I would say yes. I'd say that -11 from DeMarini in the fast pitch space has been their best performing one without a doubt. It's has the thinnest walls. We talked about it yesterday. Somebody said, "Oh, I want to stay away from the -11. It's been breaking too much," and usually that's the case. Girls swing it for 6 to 8 months, and the bat breaks, and then it's time to probably go with something heavier. And that has to do with the bat being so lightweight. It's so difficult to obviously get a -11 to be durable and also perform at that same time. So I would say CF6 -11 is as hot as that CFX -11, or vice versa, any way you want to look at it.
I think that's a good point. If you are breaking bats, and I get phone calls regularly going, yeah, this is the third one she broke. Well,
time to go heavier.
Guys, time to go heavier. And I think, quite honestly, she's going to hit the ball much further and harder with that extra ounce or two. So
Noah wants to know what your thoughts on the 2018 Easton U-Trip bat -10, 2 3/4 compared to the 2018 U-Trip bat DeMarini Zen -10, 2 3/4.
Well, I'd say it's hard to go against a bat like the Zen. The Zen last year was crazy popular. It was too good last year. The retooled one, that white and blue one. So how do we go against something that was so good? I ultimately stick with the Zen. I love Easton. I love a lot of their bats, but I got to say that Zen is so difficult to go against. The only category where the Zen doesn't really impress me all that much is BB Core. But like I said, I'm a believer now in that. So what do you think, Ghost or CF Zen? Let's pull those so people can see, at least in the same size.
The CF Zen though in -3, I still like. That bat doesn't.
These are. Noah has a great point because these are two of the best bats for U-Trip, this year. But you can't go wrong. I think if you like a little bit more balance and bat speed, Zen. If you're looking for a little bit more power, the Ghost. Just because the Ghost feels a little bit heavier on the end of it.
Bob wants to know if the USA bats for Little League that are composite, are they going to break like the composite bats, like the Mako, basically?
Yeah. So we touched on that yesterday as well. No, I think what you will see is these bats will last a little bit longer. Yes, there is no doubt with that Little League bat. Like we talked about the -11 before with like this CFX. Why does the -11 break more than the -10? It's because it's so lightweight, thinning out those composite walls. With the small barrel bats, there's only one way to get that weight and making it very thin. Now with these big barrel bats, you're able to obviously make the walls a little bit thicker, and you will see durability not really be what it was. It will be definitely a lot better. You'll see durability will kind of get back. Obviously, performance will be obviously kicked down a notch as well with this USA, but durability will be up. So that's something to maybe look on the positive side with this new USA standard.
Here's a good question from Mike. He says, my niece has a Xeno, but it always sounded odd on the contact. Any idea why? Also, my 16-year-old daughter is a DeMarini fan, so for fast pitch, what's the best value, -10 or -11?
Well, we'll answer the Xeno question first. Why does the Xeno sound that way? This is actually a cutout of the LXT from 2015, and the Xeno has the same exact type of technology in it as well. So you'll see that piece right there. You'll see that right in the middle. That metal disc and that metal disc there clamped down on this foam piece right here, and that's why it's sounding like it's almost breaking, like it's broken glass. But know that bat is obviously fine, that there's nothing wrong with that. That's how they all are supposed to sound. And then as far as best value, -10 or -11, they're both the same price. I'd say, what has she swung before? Like, is she -10 or -11? I think you'll see if she can handle the -10, stick with the -10. All right. Bob also wants to know, how about break-in and perform better? Well, break-in is going to be, it's still going to take some time to break in these new USA bats. And then perform better, you're still going to see kind of that same type of performance. It's going to be it's going to be down a notch from what it was. I would not, if we're going in with this USA standard saying like, oh, how will it be? Well, once it gets broken in, it will be like the old one. I think that would be not the expectations, right?
Right. I think that you need to continuously rotate that bat. Make sure that you're taking batting practice on all sides of the bat, whether you're hitting high on the sweet spot or lower on the sweet spot, just all parts of the bat, and just keep on rotating it just to get some immediate hits on the bat all over.
Jonathan wants to know how the Rawlings Velo fast pitch compares to the higher end bats from DeMarini and Louisville Slugger.
It's a good question. I'd say difficult to say get on board with that Rawlings Velo in the fast pitch market.
The Quattro.
Yeah, I like the I'd say Quattro can definitely. Oh, are we getting a phone call here? Why don't you take the phone call? Let's see. Don't put it on speaker just in case they want to yell at you.
Closeout bats? Okay. Right. Sure. All right. Yeah, so no problem. So it ships today, guaranteed, no problem. Today's Friday. You're looking at Wednesday arrival next week at about 5:30 East Coast time. You get a email from Quantum View, which is UPS, and they'll advise you as to your tracking number and the date of arrival. Oh yeah, no problem. Easy. Yep. Okay. Right. Cool.
Composite and then the connection.
It is. I mean, it's been out for a little while, but certainly one of the better performers on the top end of composite and two-piece bats.
Okay. Yeah. The Mako Beast has done very well too, correct?
The black.
That replaced.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, so maybe train to that in the winter, and then maybe. Now, is the barrel just a little bit longer on the Ghost?
No, not at all. No.
They're the same.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So swinging a little bit cheaper one through the training.
Right. Just a beat up. Just a beat up on it. Sure. You're training inside,
Beat up
so
on it,
no
and
big.
go to the Ghost maybe for the season.
I would.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Cool, man.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy. Yeah. Bye bye.
Well, so he didn't even know he was on the show. But if you do have any questions, give us a call and we'll answer your question on the show live.
And just remember, there's a 7-second delay.
Yeah, there was. Okay. Let's see. Do you still sell the 2015 LXT? I think is my latest question. We do not have the 2015 LXT. We have the 2016. That's the oldest LXT we have. We have the minus 11 in 29-inch only, and I think we have one piece somewhere in the 2016 minus 1031 somewhere sitting around here if we could find it. Let's see. Monica, the sound is Xeno's trademark. It's supposed to sound like that. My 14-year-old got 2017 Xeno Plus minus 11 in the spring. Made a huge difference in her game. She hit 2 over-the-fence home runs. And I just ordered the 2016 Xeno Plus minus 11 for my 8-year-old. I'm excited to see what it does to her game. Your customer service is amazing. Thank you. And also, that's also a good point. If you have any positive experience with any of these bats that are out there, tell us here, and we'll announce it on this show so people can get some feedback from some real customers, which I think is good. You know, getting
But
feedback.
it's funny that you said that is that is true. Very
Yeah.
true. That's the sound. That's what they want to hear.
Mario wants to know what Ghost you're talking about, Easton or Mizuno?
We're talking about the Easton Ghost. I think somebody here also wrote, I think Joe wrote something about the Mizuno. I think we skipped that question. We don't carry any Mizuno bats. I'm not going to say why, but Roy might want to say why, maybe off there. If somebody wants to really call up, he'll tell you why we don't carry Mizuno bats.
Call me. We'll have that discussion.
Yeah, we don't carry any Mizuno, so no comment on that. I don't want to talk badly about something that we don't carry or we don't sell. So just to go over, for people just tuning in right now going, what are these guys doing? They got bats all over the place. Got this wooden coffee mug. Deal of the day today. CFX minus 10. So this bat was a $350 bat, and it still is $350. So you're asking, how can this be deal of the day? It's because it's a blemished bat, which means it's going to have a minor paint smudge to it. And because of that, it's going to be on sale for $280. So that's the minus 10 DeMarini fast pitch bat. Then we're going to also have the minus 11, which is this Miami Dolphins color. This one is also a $350 bat, now also $280 today because of the blemish. And the catch on the blem bats are that they do not come with a warranty. They are not manufacturerly warranted.
Very limited
Yeah,
numbers there.
very limited. If you're going, I'll come back in 2 weeks, when Thanksgiving comes, I'm not in that mode. I'm just coming off some Halloween candy. Ultimately, they won't be there around Thanksgiving. They're here today. They might not be here tomorrow. So, for your sake, I hope that they're there if you're really wanting it. But if you're pulling the trigger today would be the day to pull it over the weekend. Monday at the very latest.
John wants to know if there's any feedback on how the DeMarini USA bat performs in comparison to the Easton.
So far, so good on the DeMarini bats. I'll be honest, I love DeMarini and their fast pitch bats and their big barrel bats, and then everywhere else I'm kind of like more like, I think Easton's better in the youth space, and I think a lot of people are better in the BB course space. But their USA bats, the Voodoo has done pretty well.
Surprisingly, yes.
The Voodoo has done very well. The two-piece one and the one-piece one has done well. And then they're also, we heard yesterday from Bill that they're coming out with the Zen minus 10. We're hoping January. So we'll be, once they have that Zen out, then I think we'll see like how good they are. Then there's the Uprising, which somebody from DeMarini told us yesterday to not sleep on that Uprising, but we'll see how that Uprising does. I'm not sold on the Uprising, but we'll see.
That's 2.5 though.
That's 2.5 barrel. From what I'm hearing, it's nice weight. Price point's good. It's $200 bat. I think if it was 2 5/8, it would be a no-brainer, but we'll see.
Brody wants to know what sizes you have in the CFX minus 11.
So CFX minus 11, that's a good question. I'm going to check the website because when I don't know something, I refer back to the website. Oh, another question.
Closeout bats. What's up? Okay, your call.
So CFX minus 11, guys, we have every size in that in the blemished one, 28 to
I'm sorry?
33.
Oh, no. He's just... Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Sure. Well, I mean, if that's the situation, yeah, I would go with that because you want to hit with what he's going to get.
So we're ready to go take care of some customer issues. Let's see. Brody.
We missed a question earlier from a guy. I think his name was JC, if I'm not, or JP.
Is it about the DeMarini
It was
slow
about the
pitch?
DeMarini
Yeah.
slow pitch bats.
So DeMarini
Yeah.
Slow Pitch 2018 bats, I've actually seen their new line, and I'm liking their new bats. Obviously, they're going to have a new flipper. They have a whole bunch of new bats out there. I'm also really, really interested in the Louisville Slugger Slow Pitch bats because they have some new bats that are coming out, some blasts from the past. The Z1000 is coming back. So we'll be really interested to see. DeMarini's slow pitch line looks really big and really a lot of different models, and then Louisville Slugger slow pitch line does not look as big, but they have some blasts from the past, which I'm looking to see and see how they perform. But I think we'll see the flipper be the best one.
Jason's asking, what's the difference between composite and alloy in the USA bats? In theory, he says they should have the same pop, and thinking an alloy would be more durable and better in cool spring baseball.
No doubt, I would agree with that. I would say, yeah, your thought process is totally right on with that. You're not crazy in thinking that. But what you get with a composite bat versus an aluminum bat. You get the barrel size difference. So you could see maybe on the table it might be better to see. We move this chair out of the way. You might be able to see the barrel difference. So you're able to see on that composite one, you get that sweet spot is just absolutely just massive on there. Where on the aluminum one, it's not bad, but you just get more of a sweet spot. What you're able to do with the composite is you're able to obviously stretch that composite and get a sweet spot like that. Where on this aluminum one, you're very limited in that regard. But if you said, yes, I play in a cold weather or climate for early spring and fall ball, then yeah, go with the aluminum one. Save yourself $150. But if, yeah, we like the composite and we like that massive barrel and we live in like somewhere like in Arizona or California, yeah, the composite will definitely perform a lot better than, say, that aluminum one. Yes, in theory, it's USA, so I know what people are thinking. This is going to perform. This is a wood bat. That is what they're thinking. And that would be, it's the closest thing to wood-like performance. You can't ultimately say that this bat is the same as a wood bat. If that was the case, no one would be buying this one. We'd go wood, but that's not the case. It's the closest thing to wood, which is still better than wood ultimately. Everything good?
All good.
All good.
Just another happy customer.
David was wondering, how's the pop off the baseball U-Trip Ghost in comparison to the Zen?
Same type of thing. You know, the Zen last year was too good. Too good that they had to retool it. So people are going to automatically think like the retooled one is really kind of the same thing as that new one out. The Ghost X is definitely a revamp of that Mako Beast. So the Mako Beast is no more. It's new composite, new handle, all that new stuff to it. So ultimately, I would say they're very close. They're 1-2, depending on who you ask. They're going to be the 1-2 punch in U-Trip minus 10, 2 3/4. You can't go wrong in that regard. There's a couple other good ones out. Made a mess here today.
Here's another question we missed. Noah said, I've been hearing that the 2018 Easton is more of a balanced bat and the Zen is more of an end-loaded in the U-Trip 2 3/4 minus 10 category. Last year's Mako Beast seemed to be a little bit on the heavier side. So, how would you get into that?
Well, actually, I have them right here because I pulled them before. Both 31 minus 10. And I got to be honest with you, from what I'm feeling, I feel like the Zen is definitely the better balance bat. And then the Ghost is always the Ghost feels a little bit heavier. You tell me what you think if you agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Easton's, not to say put any knock on Easton, but Easton's their bats always carry that slight end-loaded feel to it, I mean, because they have the massive barrel to it. I mean, you look at the barrel difference again. Easton, I'd probably give edge to the Easton. I mean, two-piece connection is kind of right there, but the edge kind of still goes to that Easton bat, and with the bigger, obviously, more sweet spot here, a little bit more end weight to it is what you'll see.
Here you go. What do you? Ann wants to know. What do you feel is the best BB core baseball bat for a 13-year-old, not a power hitter?
Not a power hitter. Balance we need. I'm going to say Velo or Cat 7 is going to be the key right there. Or Solo. Let's start throwing the Solo in there. I mean, those three bats are really the same depending on how you want to slice it.
I think one piece alloy is. I mean, I'm kind of assuming, of course, that he's not gigantic. You know, he's not like he's over 6 feet tall, and he's not over 175 pounds. You know, at that age, so I think evenly balanced would fit his needs.
Mike wants to know what's the coolest temperature my daughter should use a composite bat. Spring in Chicago can be really cold.
Yeah, we're with you, Mike, because we're also in New Jersey, so we get real cold here as well. So I'm going to say 45 degrees is where I would kind of draw the line. You know, I wouldn't feel comfortable using it in like anything under 45. You agree?
I would. At 45, I don't know if I want to be playing.
Yeah, the games that you don't want to go to and you want to sit in your
Don't
car,
use the bat.
don't use the bat is what I would say.
Billy Murphy wants to know what do you think about the Marucci Hex -5?
Actually, really impressed with that Marucci Hex -5. I think when you talked about it yesterday, I'm going to actually go pull that off the shelf so people can see that barrel is massive.
God bless you.
Gracias.
De nada.
So this is that Hex -5.
Impressive barrel.
I think the barrel is nice, and it's a 2 5/8 -5 composite. So from 2018, this is actually came out last year, but out of the 2017, 2018 -5 composite bats, this is really one of the only options out there. The 2 5/8 barrel. I mean, Easton has one that looks good, but I like this one. The Hex, I'm a believer in this one.
Mario wants to know if there's any deals on a -9 fast pitch bat.
Oh, we got a ton of -9 fast pitch deals. You got the Stealth Flex -9 from Easton from a couple years ago. That one's 150. You got the Torque from Easton at -9. You have DeMarini. We have a whole slew of those. We have Xeno LXT. We have a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch. I can send you the link when I see the comment come up. I'm on a delay here in the comments. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. We've kind of hovered good as far as viewership today, around 50, kind of all video. It's gone up to 60. It's gone as low as 38, but it's kind of always been 50. So I thank everybody for joining in, because this would be really boring if no one was asking questions. Or
Bill Murphy reverts back to the Marucci -5, the Hex. He wants to know how the pop on it is.
yes, very good. From what we've seen, obviously kids coming in here and hitting with it. It has been good. It sounds real nice. It's, as close as we're going to get to DeMarini CF Zen without it obviously saying DeMarini or being a Zen on it. So it's good. It's the real deal. I would feel comfortable selling you that bat.
Lewis here has a good question. He says, how do you know when a bat loses its pop?
Well, let's say it's a baseball bat or a softball bat. It really doesn't matter. But when that bat you first got, I'm sure the bat you first got, performance is great on it. Balls are jumping off of the bat. Your daughter or son is just crushing the ball with it. When that bat does not have that same type of, let's say, jump off of it, I would ultimately say it has nothing to do with the bat performance, because bats cannot go dead within a year, 8 months. They can't in 2 years, 3 years even. They're not going dead. It really has something to do with, obviously, they've outgrown the bat as far as it's time to go heavier. So usually in fast pitch, when a girl, great example, there's a DeMarini bat called the Vendetta. And it's a -12 bat, and it's a great performing bat. Girls love it. Balls go off this bat great. This bat has been the bat that I could say people a year, they come in in September, they're in the next September saying that the bat lost its pop. And then ultimately we put them in the cage here, and then they hit with a -10 or a -11, and they go, that's the pop that we're looking for. And I say, well, it's nothing that has to do with the bat. It's that your daughter just got a lot stronger in that last year, and I'm sure that this will be good for any girl because it still has performance to it, and they might have a younger sister or a cousin that they could give this bat to, and then they go with the heavier bat. So that's when you kind of know when the bat has, let's say, it's time to replace a bat. When you haven't seen the performance that you once saw out of the bat. It's not that it's going dead. It's that let's maybe push the envelope and see if we can go a little bit heavier.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that that bat at the time fit her needs.
Yeah.
And now she's gotten bigger, she's gotten stronger, she's gotten better mechanics, and I think it's time to move into the heavier bat that still feels light for her. And I think you're going to get best results in doing that. Some of these older girls that come in that are high school girls and they're looking for a drop 12, it's just not the bat for them. They're just not going to get the performance out of it. Now, I get it. If they're a small girl, you know, way south of 100 pounds and not even over 5 feet tall, I get it. They can't swing that bat, so that bat would fit their needs. But once they get into high school, I think that it's time to kind of consider going heavier.
Jason wants to know what the hex costs.
So the hex is 300.
Jonathan Griswold wants to know, on the Marucci subject, what are your feelings on the fast pitch bat line?
Yeah, so that's actually been the first Marucci question regarding fast pitch. Colorway on it, I like the color. It looks cool. Performance is something that we have not really kind of seen yet. Not to say that it's not good. It hasn't been a lot of people coming and saying, I want to hit the Marucci fast pitch softball bat. Not that they're not there yet, but I think, where Rollins is maybe a year to 2 years away from kind of like, let's say, making a name for themselves in the fast pitch space. I think Marucci's probably 5 years away, because they just got into it. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, they have a great name. They do a great job in baseball, but softball is just not there just yet. I could say that nobody's come in saying, I got to swing the Marucci fast pitch bat or demo it, but in given choices, when people come in looking at Easton and Louisville and DeMarini, et cetera, we always want to throw that in as a comparison. Just to get it out there so that people are touching it and feeling it, and I've swung that before, and I didn't like, or whatever. But it's definitely uphill for them. But listen, overnight they kind of got on the baseball market, so I don't put it past them to be in the fast pitch.
They all had to start somewhere. DeMarini,
Right.
Louisville, and Easton all started somewhere. So looks wise, they look cool. People coming in and hitting with it and asking about it. You're the first one to ask, but I did want to at least have. I felt like yesterday somebody was going to ask it, so I'm glad that question finally got asked. Let's see. I'll pull it out just so they can get some play. So you got the Marucci. You're going to have the one piece, and then you're going to have the two piece. I mean, aesthetically they look cool. They look very cool. Obviously girlish teal colors, so grips feel nice. So we'll see. It's definitely an uphill battle, like Roy said, but we'll see.
Mark says his son plays 10U USA Little League. He's looking for two bats, one balanced, one for power.
Okay.
What's your recommendation?
So I would probably say look at that Beast X Hybrid, which is that two-piece bat. So you're going to have that -10. It's going to be alloy barrel composite handle. This one's more of that, a little bit more for that power hitter, the kid that kind of wants to smash the ball. I like this one because two-piece in any bat, whether it's Easton, DeMarini, or Louisville, is always going to carry a little bit more end weight to it. Then if you're looking for balance, why not go with the Solo, because that's very built for bat speed, which is that -11 bat, is what I would probably look at ultimately there.
Joel Diaz wants to know what's the best drop 5 of all.
Of all. Okay, well that's
all time.
Probably of all options right now. That's the Zen right here, which we actually got a couple pieces left on some back order fill that DeMarini has sent us. So this bat is the most talked about bat, and there's actually not even a -5 this year for DeMarini in that USSSA space, or even USA for that matter. Oh, we're getting a phone call here. Let's see what the viewer
out
has
bat.
to say.
Oh, can I put you on live? Okay. Okay, so I'll take you off then because you are on live. Go ahead. What's up?
While he's on the phone, Bill wants to know what's a good bat for a 6-year-old who's transitioning
I'm
out
here.
of T-ball.
You're on.
That okay? So I'll tell him.
Okay. Which bat was it? Okay. So here's a question. I mean, you're in South Jersey though, right?
So I'd be looking at the Ghost X -11, which is going to be available on the 2716.
Yeah, so
That's a big barrel bat.
You know, we can kind of
Or
go through and
I would
have
look
a
at the
demo each
Beast
and every bat and
X
see what's up.
Hyperlight, which is the -12 small barrel. These both come in 27 inch, and they're both going to be lightweight. This is the lightest weight big barrel bat Easton has to make, and this is the lightest weight small barrel. One's composite, one's aluminum. Those would be the two bats right there that I'd look at.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, we'd love to have you. Yeah, come up and we'll have her swing every bat at all the different sizes, weights, and manufacturers, and we'll make that determination. You know, we'll have to cross that bridge when Dean Rainey, you know, gets back at you on that. So, I mean, at this point, I'm just speculating. Well, if the manufacturer determined that there is an issue with the bat, they would replace the bat. I think that they would give you a voucher, but I think that they would replace the bat anyway. But I think that that's kind of the conversation that you have to have.
Max, Lewis wants to know, what's the best way to measure for the right softball bat for his daughter? She weighs 130, 5'2", she's strong, she's 11 years old. You know, it's a hard question without actually seeing her swing.
Yeah,
but
hard question.
We can get
but,
into it.
But ultimately, you know, we could kind of gauge and say, like, what did she swing last year? What is she swinging now? What are some girls on her team swinging, you know, in comparison to her size? You know, somebody, how tall did you say she is?
It says she is 5'2", 130 pounds, but she's a travel player, so she's obviously a player.
So if we were sizing her up, like if we're sizing her up for the season, we're playing right now and it's May, then we'd probably look at like a 31 because that's good for the right now. Her being that size and her being that caliber of player, we're probably wanting to push it to 32. And then it comes down to how strong she is. -10 is obviously the hope that any high school or college player wants to be in, maybe even heavier. -11 is more obviously built for that freshman, but some girls swing it in the sophomore year of high school. I'd ultimately say let's look at 32, -12, or -11 and kind of see where we go from there. If she's strong enough, then -11 is the way to go because you're going to see better performance. If she needs a little bit more bat speed, then -12 would be the way to kind of sit and go with something like that.
Dario wants to know, good bat for an 8-year-old contact hitter. He used the Beast last season, but never really felt comfortable with it. So what would you recommend on that note?
Well, if he swung the Beast last year in 28 and never really felt comfortable with it, then I would look at something very lightweight, and I would look at the Solo, or I'd look at the 5150 and the -11. You know, he's more of that contact hitter, so let's look at aluminum, where the composite probably won't do him much good, being, you know, that he didn't have success with the Beast last year, and he might feel that it's a little bit heavy.
Joshua says his daughter's coming off of a 31 inch, going into a 32 inch fast pitch bat in the spring. She's currently swinging DeMarini CF9 Insane and wants to go to an LXT. Can you please tell him the major differences between the two?
Well, so two very good bats. I think it's a great point that she's swinging the CF9 Insane right now, and then she wants to go to the LXT because two very similar bats, even though that they don't really sound too similar. DeMarini has the best weight balance out of anybody out there on the market when it comes to fast pitch. So their -10 is super lightweight. When you compare it to a -10 LXT or Xeno or even Ghost, it's always going to feel heavier. But the LXT obviously has a little bit more weight, and then that Insane from DeMarini, their Insane bat feels similar to the Xeno and LXT and Ghost. So as far as weight balance goes, they're right there as far as similarities go. And then as far as performance goes, you're going to see that same type of performance. The LXT obviously is going to be the 3-piece bat, but the DeMarini is a 2-piece bat, so you're going to get a little bit of flex out of both. Two very similar bats. I would say making the move, she won't really feel a difference. I would feel comfortable her switching it up. And a lot of people do make jumps like that, going from a DeMarini to Louisville, especially in that Xeno LXT.
Jeff wants to know, what's the best -3 for a power hitter out?
Well, best -3 for a power hitter. Ultimately, we want to look at something that's going to be aluminum barrel, composite handle. What would you say, Roy?
718. Louisville.
718, and then I'm going to even say Beast X Hybrid from Easton. I'm going to take it away from DeMarini and say that these two are the ultimate power. Oh, they even feel heavy in my hand. I can't even do this. I like the 718 Select. It's been really good. Louisville Slugger actually put a mark on their bet, similar to what Easton does, where they put, obviously, the swing balance on it. And this is the heaviest bet that they have in their line. And then this is one of Easton's heaviest bets that they have. So for a power hitter, we want something heavy, something that we could simply mash with. And these are the two go-tos right there. We're going to kick the Voodoo out, and we're going to go with one of these.
David wants to know, USA bat for his 12U, I'm assuming son, 5'6", 160. He swung Combat Maxim 31-21 last year, and he's been swinging the Voodoo Raw 32-24 at winter workouts.
Yeah, so he's a big dude. He's definitely got some power. If he's swinging the Voodoo, then he could really kind of go with anything. I think what you'll see with this USA bat is people are always asking as far as performance goes. The heavier the bat, simply, he's going to get that much more performance. So why not try to push the envelope, and why don't we try a -5? He's 12U, you said, right?
Yeah.
12U. So
5'6", 160.
I mean, he's coming on the age where next year he's probably a -3. You know, playing 13U, I'm sure some tournaments, some leagues say he needs to swing -3. So why don't we go with a -5? Why don't we look at the Beast X, which is going to be that all one-piece aluminum bat? And if we feel that the -5 is too heavy, then let's go -8. But he's got to be in one of those -8 or -5 32. Especially if he's swinging the Voodoo 32-24, then the -8. Well, Voodoo 32, probably 23, the -9 Voodoo. But yeah, look at them. Look at the -8 and -5.
Guys, I don't know if you see this, but you see Pierce Hans join?
No, I did not see Pierce Hans join.
Little throwback right there.
That's a throwback. That's a former employee right there, actually. Hope everything's good with you, Pierce.
Mark wants to let you guys know that you're awesome. Keep it up. Thanks for the info. Brian Duryea, what's up, guys?
Duryea, what's up, bro? Those out there that don't know Brian Duryea, he has his own website, justbatreviews.com. So if you're more of the reading type and you don't like informative, annoying videos like this, then go to his website where you can read a whole bunch of stuff and hide behind your computer and read rather than listen to.
Hear what somebody smart has to say.
Yeah,
instead of,
somebody that's a
instead
little
of
bit,
us.
yeah.
Here you go. Mario says, my 5'1", 100-pound daughter is currently swinging older Rocket Techs. Anything out now that compares performance-wise?
The new Rocket Tech. I mean, that's the closest thing. I mean,
100-pound swinging a Rocket Tech is pretty impressive because that is a very heavy bat, very top heavy, but has a lot of power. That bat, I've never seen more line drives go as far so low to the ground. That bat just absolutely is strong.
This question has a lot to it. Patrick says, which bat would you choose? -3 baseball, Michigan high school baseball, Rawlings Quattro, Easton Ghost, Omaha, or the CF Zen? Need a second bat. He has the 918 from Louisville.
well, certainly with those bats, we have an arsenal. I would say I'd go in a different direction here. You know, you have the 918 from Louisville Slugger, so you have arguably the best composite bat out right now in the market. So let's kind of switch it up. Like, you know, we go with the Quattro, that's so similar. We go with the Ghost, it's so similar. Or we go with the Zen, it's so similar. You have the Louisville Omaha here, but why not go with something like the Cat 7 ultimately, which is one of the best one-piece aluminum bats out right now, or the Rawlings Velo as well. Omaha's nice, but I think if you were looking for a secondary bat, especially being in Michigan, so we talk about that cold weather climate, something that's better for obviously early on spring or fall ball. Yeah, look at the Cat 7. I think we would find a little bit better performance out of one of those in the early spring.
David asks, is the new Easton Ghost hotter than the Combat Maxim, or how does it compare?
Well, new Ghost is definitely hotter than the Combat Maxim. I think what we've seen out of the Combat bats, and totally like the idea of the Combat bats, but let's not be fooled by the barrel size. We see the barrel size, we get enamored by it and think, oh, that bigger barrel means definitely more pop. Not always the case. I think what we'll see is that Ghost will definitely outperform any of those Combat bats, and especially a little bit better on the hands too. The two-piece Ghost just feels very smooth coming off of it, where the Combat, you're not going to hit it towards the end of the barrel, or we hit it towards the hands, not as forgiving on those hands. We ready to wrap this up?
Lewis wants to know, he says, what are you drinking out of? That looks cool, and where can he get it?
actually, somebody actually gave this to me. I don't know what company this is. I can maybe look it up for you and find out. It had a card in it, but I threw it away. It's cool. It's made out of obviously wood, and it's cool. I just don't like that it doesn't have a top to it, and you can't hold it like with a handle. But I like it. It's cool.
Brian wants to know, you guys got the Drop 5 Zen?
Yes. Is that okay? Yeah, we do. Where's that at here? Yep, we have the Drop 5 Zen right here. We actually have it in 30 to 33, and we have a couple pieces, minimal pieces. Obviously, this is a back order from D. Marini, so this right here might not last the weekend. It might last the weekend, but if you're thinking like, hey, I want this for Christmas time and holiday, I would say sooner the better. I know people wait, until they get obviously the bonuses for Christmas and all that stuff, but if you can afford it right now, I would pull the trigger. So that's what I would think about the Zen. Probably the best -5 ever created.
David says, how's the USSSA Ghost in comparison to the Combat Bubba? Very hot and a lot of pop?
Well, the Bubba's an older model bat, so we go by that's old. So, standards were probably a lot easier to pass back then. When we compare the Bubba to the Ghost, I still say you can't find any Bubbas out right now unless they're on eBay, even if anybody has any. So, as far as performance goes, they're similar, but I don't like comparing such older model bats. I really like if you said, hey, what's the difference between Ghost and Beast? That's really easier comparisons. When we go bats that are 5+ years old, it makes it a little bit difficult to do.
My man Lewis here, he's very interactive today.
Lewis,
he wants to know what's better than the Xeno Plus 31 Drop 10.
I think maybe if you were to say what's better, I probably would say stay away from anything Louisville. Like LXT is so similar to that bat. Why not go with something like this CFX right here, this -10? This would be something that I would say would be very similar to that. And this one actually, I'll kind of end with this because we do eventually need to get back to work here at Close Up Bat. So to recap the show, the -10, this bat right here from D. Marini was a $350 bat. It still is $350. We have blemish versions of these bats, so people eat these blems up, which means that it's a minor paint defect to the bat, not affecting performance. This bat will be on sale for $280, and they do not come with a warranty. That's the whole deal with the blemish one.
Finish up with the last question. Tammy says, what would be comparable to the slapper for a girl who's a switch hitter who likes the weight in the hands, but gives up too much when on the right side?
Well, that even brings up the next bat. So this actually works out pretty perfect. This was not planned, so I'm not just saying bats that I don't believe. So the -11 right here from D. Marini is basically what the slapper was, only in a -11. So the slapper has the extra long barrel, which the -11 has that nice barrel size to it, and it's going to be a lot lighter. So something that where she needs to handle something on the right side, this would be good because you're not giving up that barrel like on that slapper bat. The weight's going to be better. And then this bat also was a $350 bat that we have now in blemish models that are going to be on sale for $280. Do we have any other questions?
There's a couple more filing in at the end of the show here. Mike wants to know, what's the performance difference between the Vendetta and the CF series?
Yeah, that's different. You talk about, let's say, A+ on that CF series, where they put the best composite they could possibly put in it, durable, high-performing, balls jumping off of it. And that Vendetta, the only way to make it so light is that we have to go with a lesser composite. I don't like to say lesser and mean like, it's something that they're just throwing a bunch of composite in it and it's going to break and it's not going to perform. It's not, let's say, A+ on the CF series. We're talking more B on that Vendetta, which I would totally take a B in anything.
All right, last question here. Dave says, 7U boy playing 8U travel next year. He's currently swinging 28 -12, the Rawlings Raptor, the orange one. What would be a good big barrel bat for next year?
Well, solo ultimately is what I would look at. And that -11 bat, why not go with something so light? If he's swinging that Raptor, and now we got to go big barrel bat because of the USA standard, solo is going to be your most balanced bat. I do want to announce also, guys, that there will be no show Saturday and Sunday. We're going to have to take a day off, but we are open Saturday.
Lewis wants to know how often does this show
there you
go
go.
live?
Wow, Lewis, you're my man. So
shout out to Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah. So the show's going to be every day, Monday through Friday, till Thanksgiving. Then after Thanksgiving, we're going to ultimately just sign off, and we're going to get pretty busy. We're not that busy right now. We're gearing up for holiday. That's why we have the time to do this show. So we're going to do it Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to take the day off. We are going to be open Saturday. So if you got any calls,
Come demo some bats.
Come demo some bats if you're in the New Jersey, New York area, or in the Texas area too. I don't know if you want to make the trip. But so
He wants to know what time for the show.
Oh.
My man Lewis.
Lewis
Shouting out. He's very
Lewis,
interactive
too.
today.
I think we should do it every day at 8. Yesterday we did it with Bill, who he was not that great. So
He's been banned from the show.
Yeah, so we're not going to do it with him anymore.
And he's never on time,
He's
so the
never
show
on
was
time,
later
so
yesterday.
that's why it was 12. But I think we get better play out of the early morning crew, even from people from Texas, where it's it's 9 o'clock right here now. So you're behind us. So I like early morning. We're early morning people, so I go early morning. And guys, remember, you could shop smart and save your bucks only at Close Out Bats this holiday season.